Hello, hello, hello. It is official. It is 7 o'clock. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Today is August 1st. I'm so excited. My birthday is in like 13 days. But anyway, today I am going to, this is like the official launching of something that I'm trying. It's called Hello Human. It's just going to be pretty much like open dialogue between, me and my viewers about, pretty much things that people either choose to ignore, act like they don't exist or don't like to talk about, push to the side, that type of thing, or whatever it is that I feel the need to discuss. But today's topic is called "When is enough enough?" And by me asking that question, I'm simply asking you simply as it said, when is enough enough? Like, is it okay to walk away? When is it okay to walk away? Because a lot of people have trouble. A lot of people have trouble with that. Um, but I know for a fact it's hard. But sometimes you just gotta say, to heck with it and put yourself first. So I actually have a few questions actually regarding the topic, when is enough enough? I know I've asked a number of people, like, is it okay, to, if you need if need be, if family members or friends are toxic, is it okay to cut them off, or after a certain time frame, if someone has been your friend, for 10 or 15 years, is it okay to cut them off? Yes, that is my answer to that question. Yes. If you know that that person has not a positive anything in your life, then what are they staying around for? Like, why are they still, in your life? Like, you let them know, like, hey, I need you to stop doing these things, and if they don't, you say, hey, you continue to live your life, and then I'm going to go do me. And if by you leaving out of their life that means absolutely nothing to them, then you dodged a bullet pretty much. But anyway, i I really would like to know you guys opinions. Hello, viewer. I'm not sure who you are, but hello, hello, hello. um as I was just saying, this is the official launching of Hello Human, and today's topic is called when is enough enough. you know uh, some people will stick around, in marriages and whatnot for, 20, 30, 40 years, which I am a very traditional person. So I believe, you get married, you should ride that marriage out. But then at the same time, you ain't really got to stick around and deal with beating and, the mental, and whether it's mental or physical, because it happens both ways. Um, but do let me know your opinion. I'm not sure who you are. um, but I'm like totally excited. So let's see. What was my first question? Uh, oh, is it okay for you to part from family? If family is the person or people that are the most, or extremely toxic in your life, is it okay for you to part from them? After you've tried and you've talked and you've tried and you've talked and you've given examples and you've been patient and time again, they turn around and do the same thing. They turn around and continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. You know, after a while, it's not even I don't feel like it's that person's fault anymore, because at that point you continue to allow them to continue to do the same thing to you. Like, at some point you have to say enough is enough, because I mean, you can't continue to put up with the same stuff continuously, over and over again, especially not from the same person. And if you are continuously being uh, misused in the same way, even if it are by different people, then that should let you know right then and there that um, that you need to change your circle. You need to change, something about yourself, the way that the energy around you, like the whatever you're bringing into your life, your space, something about that needs to change, because obviously, um, something about it is totally wrong. It's totally, or I won't even go as far as to say wrong, but maybe it's off. It's not, you're not as in tune with self as you should be, as I would say. Um, but as for my answer to that question, yes, it is totally fine. It's completely normal. I've known people who didn't even know, their parents or their siblings growing up, but then they met them and it was like an instant connection. And it was like they had the greatest, now of course they had their ups and downs and whatnot, but they had like the best relationship, from there on out. But and then there's other people who has known their parents since birth, and they ended up not even um they have known their parents since birth, and they ended up, hating mom or hating dad or despising them, for whatever reason. And a lot of the times, because of that lack of communication, they are unable to recuperate from that, or they have buried it so deep inside them that they choose to not even acknowledge that, that hurt, that pain, or whatever exists. um, but yes, I really, that's something, like, I wouldn't even go as far as to say completely cut them off, but at some point you got to let them know, like, hey, I can't keep doing this, and if you don't care about, the fact that what you're doing is continuously putting me in pain, it's making me mentally unstable, whatever it's causing, in whatever way it's causing harm to you, if they don't care, then why should you? And you can still care, but you just gotta use, sometimes you gotta love from a distance. I'll say it that way. You have to love from a distance sometimes, because people will test you in ways like you would not believe, and you just be like, man, I can't believe that did that, and it'll be like they're constantly going to do the same thing over and over again, and you're just going to be like wondering, like, why me? I've got caught in that situation a number of times, like, man, why is the same thing happening to me? Why is this constantly happening? When I actually sat down, and thought about it and said to myself, like, man, what am I consistently doing that's causing this same hurt, this same pain, this same energy into my life? And when I actually sat and thought about it, it actually hit me, it actually spoke to me, like, man, like, yeah, I am causing this stuff to happen to myself. It might actually be someone else doing it, but it's actually me, who's bringing it into my life, who's causing it, so um, at this point, yes, yes, cut out all negativity, all harm, all pain, cut it off. Um, and I had another question that I was going to ask. Does time, and I kind of already touched bases on that as well. Does time play a factor in whether or not you leave, as far as, like, the 20, 30 years of marriage? And you two don't love each other anymore. Y'all don't trust each other. You don't care for one another at all. Y'all just going through the motions, going through the routine. And if any of you have seen that new movie by Tyler Perry called Acrimony, that kind of plays into that role as well. He they fell out of love with one another. They was just pretty much going through the motions. Like they were just wake up. She would go to work. He would go to work on his little, battery or whatnot, and that would just be the end of it. And they may speak to one another, they may not. And like, who wants to live a life like that? Like, I want to be happy. Like, even if it takes 30, 40 years for my true soulmate to come into my life, I am willing to wait. I am willing to pay that cost because I know, at the end of the day, like when I do find him, wherever he is, he's is going to be true. 100%. Not to say that people who have true love don't have real problems or they don't have things that they have to deal with or go through. They just they choose not to go through it. They choose to grow through it. That's something that I watched. I mean, I learned watching Mr. Les Brown. Um, you can't go through things. You have to grow through it because if you go through things and you don't grow through it, you're going to continue to have to go through it continuously because you're not going to be to learned anything. You're not going to be to um, learned anything at all. So you're going to continuously, go through the same thing over and over again. Um, but a lot of the times I know I've asked people like, hey, like, why are you sticking around in this relationship? And y'all don't even love each other. Y'all don't trust one another. Y'all don't like one another, anything. And, one of the main answers I do recall getting is like, oh, we've been together 6 years, or we've been together 10 years, or we've been together 15 years. Like, and like one of my main responses are, so because you've already wasted so much time, you're telling me you're going to continue to waste more time out of your life. And then it always makes them stop and think. They're just like, well, since you put it like that, I'm just like, yeah, what other way have you been looking at it? um but I mean, it's pretty amazing how time plays such a huge role in so much. Like, you would not believe. Like, you're going to continue to like let this man who, like, I read this status on Facebook yesterday, and it said if a woman gets paid from her job $952 for the week after taxes or whatnot, or no, it was $962, and she pays her husband, um, or not her husband, I'm sorry, her man $950. But then he turns around and he uses the money that she gives him to go pay the bills. And the question was, what is she? I mean, I would really like to know because he's not your husband. He's not even your fiance. He doesn't have a job, no source of income. So you're basically working to give him all of your money. And so he can say he's paying all the bills, basically, he's running stuff. And I never really read the comments underneath it, but I'm pretty sure they were, quite interesting. I'll say to say the least. Um, but it's that type of stuff that is constantly happening all the time. Um, but if you ask me, which you probably won't, but if you do, um, when you're thinking about whether or not you need to stay in a relationship, whether it be friends, whether it be family, co-worker, job, whatever, don't so much look at the time of things, because you would drive yourself crazy, literally, like, man, I've been here for 10 years, I don't want to leave. And then you'll start thinking, and you'll go into you can send yourself into a depression doing that, like by overthinking. Don't overthink it, just do it. Sometimes that's all you can do, is just do it. um and it was another question. Let me see, what other questions did I have? What scares you the most? What scares you the most about leaving? Like, is it the fact that you've been together for so long? Is it the fact that you're scared of starting over? And a big, major issue, outside of people being afraid to start over, is them having children. Like, I don't want to leave because, this is the father of my children. I don't want them to hate their father and da 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 da. You know, to me, that is simply where communication comes in. Because if you sit your children down and let them know that, me and mommy, me and daddy loves you with all of our heart, nothing about that is going to ever change, and let them know that y'all just don't feel the same way that you used to about one another, and explain everything that they want to know, answer every question, and don't leave a stone unturned, because to allow a child's mind to wander, that is like the worst pain ever. That's like, man, like, did I do this? And then now they're wondering and thinking to themselves, like, man, am I responsible for what happened to mom and dad? So now they're thinking like, oh, I need to go and fix it. So now they're, worrying about grown people stuff instead of, enjoying their childhood type of thing. Um, but a lot of people have an issue with leaving the father of their child, or someone that their child has only known to be dad, after they've been together for so long. If you know the relationship is not working out, if you know that he or she is not your soulmate, if you know that it is not meant to be, then it's just, it's only right for you to, move on and step away from that, because at the end of the day, you being with someone you're not supposed to be with is only holding off, it's hurting someone else just as well as it is hurting you. Because think about it, if you're with this man and this man is not your soulmate, his wife is somewhere ready waiting for him. She just has yet had a chance to meet him, or get to know him, because he's with you. So the longer you wait, you stay in a relationship 2-3 years well past his overdue date, I'll say, um well past its overdue date, and instead of just breaking it off and calling it a quits, you decide to stay in the relationship. So now she's over here asking God, praying to God, like, where's my man? What did I do wrong? And why isn't my man coming? That type of thing. And then all of a sudden you break up, and months later they meet one another, and then bam, they hit it off. Within a year they're married, and within 2 years they're having children of their own, and you know you still over there salty. You still over there in your feelings and whatnot, because, like, just let it go. Just simply let it go. um because and it makes sense, that it's going to be painful. Hello, human. You're human. Just to let you know that you are human. um so allow yourself to be in that pain. Allow yourself to, say what you need to say, but say it as I say. Don't ever talk out of anger, because you tend to say things you wouldn't otherwise, I'll say. um but I guess that does conclude my Hello Human launching for the day. Thank you for those of you who did tune in. I really do appreciate it. And if you are watching this, please share and subscribe to my channel, like, and leave as many comments as you would like. Let me know what you think. Um, Seriously, I would like to know your opinions. I really do appreciate them all. Again, the name of this is Hello Human. Um, and hopefully, you come back next week. It'll be every Wednesday from at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock every Wednesday. So I look forward to talking to you guys again. Thank you.